So here is my latest purchase. We have an IBM ThinkPad. I've never had one of these laptops, but I know they're very popular. I had a boss who had one, and I remember him sitting at his desk hammering away furiously. That seemed to last. They have a reputation for being well made and lasting well. So I think this one is due for a revival. So let's have a look around the unit first of all. Okay, so let's go around the details. So this hinge cover appears to be slightly elevated there. There's no obvious way to push down, so maybe that was removed. Okay, so we have some we have a gap here, so keyboard not fully fitting in. So we have a shiny space bar. The normal set of keys are shiny. Look at R and E in particular, but J is okay. But all the keys feel fine, nice and even. Keyboard does move a bit, but maybe they will like that. Maybe that's to do with the keyboard sitting a bit proud there. Now there is one problem over here I've noticed, in that the Enter key wasn't working, but now is. I don't know if you can see, but I can see a bit of metal in there. So remarkably, the Enter key seems to work perfectly, but I can see that it may be the stabilizer bar. Yeah, there we go. So that is sticking a bit there. So the tracking nub is looking quite worn, but okay. Buttons feel fine. Now it does look like there is maybe a small crack there. Yeah, but plastic feels tough, it doesn't feel brittle, so maybe that's now aligning quite nicely. So it just looks like there was a problem putting that back. So we have docking station covers in position, that's good. It's interesting, those screws look very exposed, maybe that's how it was. So we've got mouse there, presumably keyboard as well. Modern VGA, parallel port, and serial port. We've got USB, again with these very exposed screws. I wonder if that's originally how it was. Power switch, modem, I guess that's security lock. 10.8 volts, 3.2 amp hour. Okay, well, battery goes to one side, I think. So, removable CD-ROM. I have an LG unit. Look at that. Look at how well it's labelled by IBM. Do not push cover, do not drop, fragile. Manufactured by IBM New York. Manufactured for IBM New York. Does it say made in? Interesting. September 1999. So this is a Millennium baby, I think. I was looking for the battery, and I think the battery's been removed. I think it fits in there. Maybe, I'm not sure. And no bad thing that it's been removed. So to power it up, I'm going to use, I'm hoping to use my universal adapter, power duplex. Can't remember where I got this from, but seems to work fairly well. And you've got a whole range of outputs. There's a load of plugs that fit on the end. So we've got 9 to 10 volts, 14 to 16, 11 to 12, 18 to 20. So I need probably the 14 to 16, which is T. Now I'd set this up for a Toshiba satellite, which fortunately was T, that had a different, a larger connector on the end. Center negative, so I'll put the red in the center. 16.2 volts. Okay, and just check that the negative reading on the meter works if I do that. We've got negative sorry, center positive. I said center negative again. Center positive, 60 volts. So here goes. So I had a flash of an LED then, but not very much. Okay, I hear a pop from the speakers. I hear a fan. So little spoiler, I had booted this up before. Now watch. Oh look, there's the fantastic flying bird. Look at that. Have fun with your business laptop. Okay, screen is very sort of off-white. Now I think that will warm up, but otherwise the screen looks very good. I can't see any obvious faults. It's quite, well obviously this is a stretch display, but I can see the pixels, so it's not a very high pixel density. Okay, I've got the manual here. So it's going to be a little while before the screen brightens up to a Sony tablet standards. So 161 and 163. Aha, look at that. Right, so 161, dead battery. Well, I think the battery's missing. The real-time clock battery, that is, as well as the real battery. 163, time and date were not set. So that's fairly good. Now earlier I did get a keyboard error, but having messed around with that keyboard, enter button is now jammed again. I'm not getting the error. Let's see how much we can proceed. So okay. So this is a Millennium laptop. Can we go forward a few years, right? Oh, okay, I can't type on the keyboard. Can you type here? I don't know. It's a very loud beep. Okay, let's see if we can move on. Error 7E301. Let me look up 301, so, which is kind of, I was hoping to get more errors, because it's obviously not starting. Ah, here we go. Okay, keyboard error. Go to keyboard or auxiliary input device checkout. There don't seem to be any keyboard tests. And we just get error 301. So it's very hung up on error 301. If I do a restart, do we get the same? Lots of ways of telling you the error. Error 301, 7E301 equals not okay. Read your IBM manual. Let's do the easy dismantling first. So take this cover off. CD-ROM out. I'm guessing this is a CD-ROM and nothing more. Okay, anything else obvious that is removable? I don't think so. So screws out, we need that one, and that one, which are gone already. Apparently not that one. That one, and that one, and that one, they are gone. And all the ones along the front, they're not gone. We're obviously holding it together. I wonder where I can get screws. I wonder if they're available. Okay. And then it says back on the top. Something rattling in it. Or maybe not. Okay, so is there one under here? Right, I'll get a knife because I think I have to lift that. This isn't ideal. someone has tried to remove this bit. Ah, there we go. Put that on the power supply. Okay, piece of masking tape to tape the cover down. And there is a screw here, so that was worth doing. And then finally, look at it, lifts up because it's not settled down the side at all. Okay, that's that screw removed. That screw's different. Maybe it does look like it. Oh! Wow. Okay, let's put the lid right down. Very broken. It's very broken. I don't want to make it worse. Let's see the cable, which I don't want to break. So let's lever the connectors up. Not as easy as I was expecting. Okay. So that is broken, but we're not in too bad a condition, all things considered. Let me put that to one side for 1 second. Well, it looks better inside than on the outside. These labels have traced out the PCBs. I think that's just the glue settling in. I think there is a lot missing, but in terms of some of the parts in here, but suddenly it looks a lot better. I don't see where the fan is. Maybe it doesn't have a fan. It must have a fan. So looking at the keyboard, we've got these broken bits, but plastic does seem strong, so I don't know why, unless that's a really weak point in the design. This plastic doesn't have the feel of brittle plastic like some laptops, my Dell CPI in particular. I think it's there seem to be screws missing there as well. Oh, they screw in from the bottom. That's fine. So I'm going to remove the keyboard from this base part. Okay, so that is the. That's interesting. The speakers are powered through that. I wasn't expecting that. So what's under there? Is that like an amplifier or something? Interesting. Right. Well, speakers did work. We had very loud beeps. Okay, here's the broken bit of plastic. That's one side. Keyboard, more keyboard screws. I'm going to keep these to one side because those were the base ones, I think. So is that for keyboard screws? It is. Keyboard lifting out. Okay, I'm going to put this to one side. It's quite delicate, but not really delicate. So how was the keyboard repaired? Well, there are these marks, but I think that's just the glue coming off. I don't think this is damage. It's just a bit of dust. There's the trackpad. It looks like it's screwed in from the top, which is bizarre. What information we got? 16th of June 99, so 24 years ago. And reasonably good quality ribbon and connector. At least it's got a proper PCB and connector on the end. Well done, IBM. I need to remove this enter key. The enter key has to come off. Let's see what's gone on underneath. I see you can, this is similar to the Dells. Can I push that in? Yeah, I can. Right, there is my enter key stabilizer. I think more of the keys can come off. I don't know. It's feasible in any way to ever get them back on. They might never go back on. So now I can test the keyboard. Is this safe just to plonk on top? I think so. How does that go? Oh my goodness. The cable doesn't seem to fit anymore. It's really bizarre. So the internet says turn on the laptop with F1 key held down. So F1 key and turn on. Fan spins up. Still holding F1. Come on, do something. Ooh, look at that, that's good. Right, and keyboard seems to be okay. Config, let's try the enter key. Yes, I think that worked. It was slow. Memory, stored usable. System board. I think there's lots of information. Play network, initialize, quick boot. Okay, can I go exit with my screwdriver icon? Yeah. Start up. So I suppose I haven't got a floppy drive. I don't think there's room for one. Maybe that's what the connector on the side was for. So I think we'll try a CD-ROM power on. Number one is CD, and that's it, because there's no hard drive. Yes, there is no hard drive in this, by the way. I think it goes in there, and it does look like a standard 44 pin, which is good. I've got my tiny core CD. This is not quite tiny enough to run in. This is not quite tiny enough to run in 32 meg. This says 128 meg on it, I think. Kingston. So purely as it's the biggest capacity, I'm going to try that first. Wow, look at that, 163 meg. Well, I'm impressed with this IBM. Things just seem to work. So I have more real-time clock battery errors, that's fine. Won't be fixing that anytime soon. Now, will you boot Tiny Core with your 163 meg of memory? 164 really. So that's the 32 internal you got with the machine, and very generously 2 slots. Okay, now we're not going to boot, interestingly. That's probably because it's forgotten the boot order. Unless I can Control Alt Delete. No, okay. So it wants me to set the boot order. Can we try second time now that the BIOS has reconfigured itself without removing the power? Oh, it has. Look, that went straight in. And will Tiny Core now boot with 164 meg of memory? I think it will boot with 128, maybe with 96 meg, but 32 meg I think is not enough. There we go. So the memory has got us to a further point. No GUI yet. Now getting the keyboard errors right. So let's not use the terminal, we'll use the writer, and let's assess the keyboard. So yeah, we have lots of keys down. Oh dear. So that row is fine. Caps lock is fine. I think it's just this Tiny Core not holding the caps lock on. S, D, F, G, H. There we know enter is fine. So that row. That shift is fine. And spacebar is fine. Okay, so disappointingly, oh, that's fine. Equals minus. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 is out. 5, 6 is fine. 8, 9, 10. I've just noticed a rather odd layout on this keyboard. There appears to be no 3. So it goes 1, 2, 4. I never noticed that. So we got 2 of those. So it's like the 3 key went missing, and then rather bizarrely, they moved them all down, so that is correct, but that should be that one. So that one needs to go there. That one probably come the 3 key. Right. We do have a few problems on our keyboard. Not to mention the missing number 3. So these look fine, so where did they get that from? Why did they put it there and move all the keys up? So that's the laptop tested. I think we'll fix the keyboard later. It's mostly working, but we have these keys with the stabilizer to come off and these keys that don't work. But other than that, I think it's time to remove the keyboard, leave that to the end, clean the rest of the laptop up, and see how we go. Seems to be lifting out. There we go. Okay, so that's the modem. A lot of chips for a modem. It seems to be caught under this piece. Ah, okay. So that might be maybe power. And this cable goes down to here. So, and one that is rounded. That is properly rounded. I wonder if I can reverse the draw to encourage it out. There we go. What about that? Oh, easier than I thought. Pops out like that, and the screen lifts up. And there we go. There is the screen. That is tight, and it's going to round. That one's fine. Why is that one so tight? It's rounded. Let's try this one. Yes, that's rounded. Select the 3 screwdrivers. Okay, 8 gripping a tool. Yes, look at that. That really is very stiff. Right. So do these go through to the base as well? Surely not. It does. I've never seen a motherboard so attached to its case. Okay, CPU. It's like it's catching on something. See if it's catching on that. There we go. So, oh my goodness, look at that. Right, I'll start with a brush. So we just brush some of this dirt off. I hope this is an anti-static brush. It said so on the internet listing. So it must be true. Look how the connector's cleaning up. I had a dark circle around it, like a tired eye. And now it's bright and shiny. Well, fairly. Okay, so we got some, I think that's a bit of rust. What is it? No, I think it's just a bit of glue or something. Yes, it's a bit of dirt. Fan looks immaculate. It also looks riveted in. Needs to be spring loaded. go. So this is definitely familiar. This is a fairly standard processor board. I'm not sure what the format is, and obviously riveted on. So I've got these squares and this piece that isn't cut up. The squares are much thinner, and I think this is thin, so I think this, although it's continuous, is too thick. Obviously this has got squished a bit, so I'm going to use the squares, which is a shame because this is good for old style CPUs. So let me pull that off. You can see it's breaking up. Should I do this? Just bung it on like that, do you think? Okay, it's stuck on there like that. Unfortunately, some of the squares got stuck to the magazine. Now, what should I do? Should I just... I think I should just snip corners off. Like that. Because I'm not going to get the nice curves, am I? Really? Let's be honest. Okay, so that goes under there like that. And then those go. So how is that gone? Okay, all parts having a good but very gentle wash, mainly the bottom. Not the top plate yet, as I need to deal with the keyboard, and that needs a bit more dismantling. So all the base items holding the motherboard. So overnight, all the parts have had a good clean. They're looking fine now. The colours on that have come up very nice. So this base, this rubber coating, there are a lot of marks on the bottom, and it is slightly sticky, but really not too bad. And the thought seems to be that you just scrape it off because the rubber coating is just paint. But having washed it, it's okay. I'm not hearing my hand stick to it, and also scraping it off is going to be very difficult on this, so I'm tempted to leave it and see how it ages. The stickiness maybe will come back. So the next stage is reassembly. I've got the photos. So I'm going to start with the motherboard and the processor card pushes in and those screws that hold it in go through and hold the motherboard on. So turn it the right way around. I think the way it came out was to push the back plate in first, lift that up, and look at that, too good to be true. So we have the handwritten model name 600E. That goes in like that, that's right. Do the screws in gently. Okay, time for this. I've given these connectors a quick spray. This on next. Maybe that goes on top. I've got a delicate switch there. Okay, so that screw goes in there. That plugs in there. I think that cable goes in this cable run. Okay, haven't cleaned this up yet, but let's put this in for good weight distribution. And probably time to test all of this, so I'm going to put the screen back on. Learnt my lesson about testing. Often the VGA output doesn't work on its own. So I'm going to go right ahead and test with the screen. I think the easiest way just to keep the screen stable is a couple of screws in the back. I'm going to guess that that is video signal. It is quite fiddly. IBM. Yeah, maybe it's not. Sorry IBM, I said it was fiddly. Okay, we're ready for a test. Let's check. I can just tighten these up a bit. See the new heatsink exposed. I'm happy with that because it just tells anybody looking in here that that has been replaced. Here goes. Hear the fan starting up. Come on screen, please light up. Yes, there we go. Looking very orange and dim. I've knocked the power slide, there we go. Okay. That's good. Well, look at the screen come to life. It's a warm day, so it doesn't take much. So this kind of ends phase one of the revival. We have a few things to do. So the keyboard needs to be repaired. Put the keys back, but also deal with these keys not working and the keys in the wrong order. I think I'd like to take the spare plus key, put that in as a 3, so all the keys are correct. Except the 3 will have the wrong key on it. But that's of course if I can fix those few keys that don't work. Decision about the lid, whether to try and remove the rubber, but following a wash it's not sticky anymore. And then finally the top plate repair, so I might give this a clean, but this needs gluing back, or is it worth gluing back? Should it maybe just be placed in position? If I glue it back, will it inevitably just fail again? So those are the questions. I think as we've got this far, we'll have a bit of fun, and I'm going to put the memory back in, because this very impressively worked so well. Let me double check that. I didn't feel that really went in. Yeah, that's fine. And this is my hard drive, well, SD card replacement. So what I need to do, the reason for not putting the modem back in is that I can pop this in here. I need to check which way it goes in. So on this pin 1 is here. I think the easiest way would be to power it up and measure the voltages. I could also measure the grounds, because this correctly has the cutout, but there is no blanking on this, so it obviously relied on the caddy to police that. And that's assuming, of course, that this is the standard IDE pinout, which I hope it is. Right, so ground is the 2 pins at the end, and then 5 volts is the 2 pins in. I think we need it turned on probably. So I'm expecting these two to be 5 volts. They are. Excellent. Those are 0. Pin 1, which is not reset, and then pin 2 is ground. Okay, so it goes in this way. I'm confident about that. Let's give it a go. Wish me luck. It does have LEDs on it. Yeah, the LEDs are on. Okay. Okay, so we've got dead BIOS battery warnings, which is 161, 163. Yes, I know about those. Can I go in and set the BIOS boot order? Holding F1 down. Do it for a long time. Start up. Power on. Okay, the hard drive is not actually in there. Can I add this? How do I add that? Ooh. Dodgy keyboard. Restart. I think we've got a keyboard error come back. The book does say there is a keyboard test, but I can't find it. I don't know what that one is. What does that mean? Okay, there we go. That's all as expected. Hey! obviously not happy. Can I pull it off? Is it worth pulling this one off? Maybe there is some dirt under there I can clean off. Seems happier now. Can't remember where I got this from. Don't think that's my writing. Maybe it came with one of my eBay purchase laptops. Boot from CD-ROM. So very interesting. None of these Windows boot CDs seem to run. I have one more to try. Later, Windows 2000. I think it's actually server. Let me try that. Press any key to boot from CD. Now let's see if this finds the hard drive. But it's interesting that this CD is booting, so this machine is obviously quite fussy about the machine the disks it wants to boot from. It doesn't like my Windows 98. So we are getting somewhere. It's not said you've got no hard drive yet. I'm going to press enter. Nothing valuable on that SD card. But something doesn't seem too happy. Okay, F8, I agree. Hope the F8 key works. Okay, let's delete the partition and make it again. Delete, press enter. Press L. I think the L key does work. Enter equals install. Format using NTFS. Yes, okay. Well, we're getting somewhere. I'm nervous it's not going to complete. Okay, here's the boot from the hard drive. Yes, look at that. Does the mouse work? The mouse does work. Wants me to wait. It's definitely not found a video driver yet. Well, let's go through and get this set up. Surprisingly little hot air. I can feel airflow, but it's not warm. That's surprising. It's going to be impossible to type in unless a Windows USB keyboard can be recognised. Oh, look at that. H9. USB keyboard is working. So HYP. Okay, I have the key in. Can we leave the password blank? Yes, we can. Not sure what we want there. Certainly being good exercise for this laptop. I can smell a bit of heating up electronics. It's starting to fade now, but I think we had a good burn-in period. So it's finished all these stages. Let's click finish and see if it's going to boot up into 2000 server on my laptop. Well, here we go. So I think the delete key has failed on this. Let's try that. Oh, maybe it's not. There we go. I'd like to pop the CD out because it's noisy. I want to know if it's the fan that's making the noise. So, here we go. I think I'll configure my server later. Don't show that, please. So here we go. So, what do we have installed? I would hope we don't have any games like pinball. And I'm sure this game isn't doing this keyboard any good. There we go, I lost a ball. So there we go, IBM ThinkPad, stage 1. Now I've got to think about what to do with the keyboard, do the rubber surface on the screen, the back of the lid. I can feel it coming off, maybe not. And what to do with the front cover and the broken pieces here. I think the keyboard has to be the priority. So that is the IBM ThinkPad revival. Thank you for watching.